Now, after you've chosen who you want to reach out to, how you're going to find these clients, you have to create a strategy for cold pitching them. And while people will say, yes, get on LinkedIn, get on whatever platform, social media platform, and start cold emailing, the number one thing people don't talk about is going in with a strategy. If you don't go in with a strategy, you're going to fall into the trap that so many writers fall into, which is sending 5 pitches or maybe 10 pitches the first week or two and then falling off and saying, I just don't understand why I can't get clients and nobody answers me. The truth is, this is a numbers game. You have to send a lot of pitches consistently and you will get the end result. It is not a matter of if you will be successful cold pitching, it's a matter of when. So if you want to be successful sooner, you're going to pump up those numbers. As Matthew McConaughey says in Wolf of Wall Street, you got to pump up those numbers. You have to send so many cold pitches in the beginning, and that momentum eventually pays off. I know it paid off for me. Obviously, cold pitching is something where your other ducks have to be in a row before the cold pitching can work, right? I'm Christine. I'm a former 9-to-5 salesperson turned freelance copywriter, and now I teach other aspiring writers how to get on LinkedIn and land high-paying freelance clients. If you have been dreaming of making a full-time living as a writer with no boss, no commute, no office politics, then keep watching. So for example, if you're sending the perfect cold pitch and you are sending 10 pitches per week consistently for a year, but your profile and your website aren't good, and let's say you're sending all of those pitches consistently, you're doing the pitching part right, but then they go to your profile and your photo is like weird and doesn't seem like they can trust you, you'll have no good result from cold pitching. Let's say they go to your portfolio and the writing samples have errors or they're not even lined up with that person's niche, then your cold pitching won't pay off. So there's so many different things that need to be in place for cold pitching to be effective. But if everything is in place, but you're not consistent, that will sabotage your results. So go in with a strategy. If you buy my templates, you will have the cold pitches already, so you don't have to worry about what to say, which is helpful. And then once you have those templates, you literally just set tasks for yourself each week and say, I'm going to reach out to 5 companies per week. Like, for example, we're doing a cold pitch accountability challenge within the private Slack group for my course, 30 Days to Paid. And literally, there's a separate channel, and we all put our goals in the group. And I said what my goals were because I'm in there too. I'm not just like sitting up here as the instructor watching everyone else do this. I'm cold pitching because I have my own freelance business goals as well. So I told the other writers in the group, share what your cold pitch is. How many pitches are you going to send per week? What are your bucket list clients? Like, who would your dream clients be? What obstacles do you think are going to hold you back from achieving this? Because as my students in the course know, we have the best of intentions and we have all the knowledge, but then we don't have the consistency and follow through. And that's where the sabotage comes from. So, preemptively say, like, what are the things that block me from staying consistent? And for me personally, it's like, I have this excuse in my head that because I have a full-time client roster and because I'm already bogged down with work, I don't have time for cold pitching. It's just an excuse. So now I'm loving the accountability challenge because every Friday I'm going in and sharing who I pitched, what responses I got. And I also want to normalize the lack of results, right? Like, I have 124 pending LinkedIn invitations right now, meaning 124 people that have never accepted the request that I sent, right? So when I tell you this is a numbers game, like, I'm living proof. I'm working full time as a freelance copywriter and I pitch consistently and I don't get answers most of the time, but I get answers enough to the point where I'm making a full-time living as a writer, and that's good enough for me. So the rejection is very normal, and I want everybody to kind of lean into it and dive head first. And it's okay if you don't receive answers back to your cold pitches. Now, if you want to know the story about how I actually got on LinkedIn and built my freelance business step by step, you're going to want to download my LinkedIn guide below. I tell you a little bit about how I transitioned and replaced my 9-to-5 income with a freelance income. It's a free downloadable guide for you, and you can learn how to set yourself up on LinkedIn step by step. See ya.